Welcome back to the World of X Games Aspen 2020 preview show. I'm Jack Mitrani alongside Brando Graham, here to dive into day one of X Games Aspen Thursday. Talk to me, Brando.
Ooh, men's snowboard SuperPipe. Now, traditionally, this has been a weekender. We've done it for a couple years on Saturdays, but then Sunday night was what this always was the staple, right? This was the closer to X Games every respective year.
Now it's the opener.
We're starting at the hot, baby. We're going hot off the top, and you can't talk about men's snowboard SuperPipe without first talking about Scotty James.
Hot off the top, Scotty James. He's won 4 of the last X Games Aspen events, medaled at the last 4. And this is why, folks. Scotty James, at 25 years old, throws on the red gloves and goes to town.
Yeah, back-to-back gold medal performances, a gold medal this past year. If you remember, the year before was that insane year where he and Ayumu Hirano possibly put together the greatest SuperPipe contest we've ever seen. No Ayumu this year, but Scotty James is going to be defending that gold. Remember, he's just been on one, if you think about it. Last year, I don't believe he lost a SuperPipe contest at all.
No, it was
I think
insane.
He went undefeated in his comp season.
I mean, I think if you guys remember the name Shaun White, he's kind of like the new Shaun White. Like, he just hasn't been losing at all lately. And I don't think he's going to lose again this year. Who can push him? Who can challenge him? Yuto?
You look at that podium from last year, certainly Yuto is such a young up-and-comer. We love to watch him in the pipe. And of course, you can never count out, now it's funny to say, the elder statesman of the group at 31, Danny Davis.
Daniel Matthew Davis, 31 years old. I can't believe he's still hanging in there. But you know what? He's really found his own niche with style and creativity and really slowing down and doing more technical tricks. So I'm really excited that we have best of both worlds. You got Scotty James just going completely technical, crazy tricks, and then Danny Davis on the other end of the spectrum. Switch methods, backside 360s. I mean, just look at the way he grabs his board. Boom! It's just art. Shreddable art is what we call that.
Yeah, and I think there was, you and I have talked about it a lot with Danny, there was a window of time when he won his 2 X Games gold medals, 2014, 2015, where Shaun White had sort of taken a pause on his X Games competitive career, and Scotty James wasn't quite the force that he is now, to where Danny came in and really shook up the way these contests were judged. Now Scotty James is perhaps riding at a technical level we've never seen in the history of pipe snowboarding. So I think that changes things a little bit, but you know when Danny Davis is in a snowboard contest, it's gonna be one you wanna watch.
It's absolutely right, and it's gonna be different. It's a surprise every single time he drops in. You don't know what he's gonna do, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah, and you think about the rest of that roster, right? Chase Josie, Toby Miller is back in the mix. He's healthy. Taylor Gold, Jake Pates. So it's like there's this...
The new wave?
Yeah, it's a new wave of riders.
The young bucks have arrived.
We've seen at Aspen, but now it's not just, oh, the kids are competing. They're going to make some noise, and that's why I'm excited about this edition of the Men's SuperPipe Contest.
And I'm also really excited about the new event, Snowboard SuperPipe Session, because you're going to watch them in Snowboard SuperPipe finals just throw down their best tricks, and then in the session you're going to see them doing tricks that you might even be able to go up and try.
Yeah, and that's why, again, going back to Danny Davis, I think that's a contest that's patently made for a guy like Travelin' Dan.
Definitely. Let's move on to our next event, Women's Snowboard Big Air. Who's it going to be? Last year we talked about Anna Gasser. She just came off learning the first triple ever, but then she wasn't able to compete in Aspen, so we didn't get to see it. Will we see it this year?
Yeah, I hope so. As long as conditions are good, we know that this jump is, again, when conditions are good, it is the premier big air jump on the planet. So if Anna Gasser is feeling comfortable, I fully expect that triple to go down, especially watching her practice this year, watching her in Switzerland, watching her at X Games Norway late last year. She seems to be in a really good competitive mind space.
Competitive and consistent, and let it be known that no female has ever landed a triple in a big air contest.
Right, yeah, that would be the first.
This could be, next week, we could witness history.
Yeah, and you think about this roster too. Obviously, we know how good Anna Gasser is. As I'm just looking through this list, Jamie Anderson, of course, is always going to be a force. She went down, if you remember, last year in Big Air and wasn't able to compete
in Slopestyle.
We hope that Queen Jamie is good to go and she'll be competing. Zoe Sadowski-Sanat, who really took Aspen by storm. She certainly won gold in slopestyle, but she's got the tricks to be a force in big air. And then, of course, Julia Marino, and as you said, Kokomo Marase, who came out of nowhere as a 13-year-old 2 years ago at X Games Norway, making history. Can she do the same in 2020?
I remember just looking up at the scaffolding in Norway, and Kokomo dropped in, and I didn't even know who she was at the time, and then all of a sudden she just does a perfect backside double 10.
Yep.
And then sure enough, I'm mind blown, and then she goes up and does a backside double 12. And she's only 13 years old. Now she's 15. What does she have in store for us now?
Yeah, that really put a target on her back, and she's the one to watch. And it's crazy to think, knowing that she made that history, that she had that trick on a scaffolding jump, no less, in the middle of summer in Norway, that she might just fight to even get on the podium. That's how good this field is.
It's going to be insane. I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait for Friday as well.
Yep, we're going to get ready for Friday. When we return, we preview X Games Aspen 2020 Friday night. All the action when we return.